morning, Stampin' friends. This is Dee Osburn, and as promised, I am bringing you a video on the bag that is taller. Yesterday, I made a square bag, a short square bag, this one right here, and that was perfect for a half-pint canning jar. And I told you that I would work on making a taller one that would fit a pint or maybe even a quart. And so I've done that today. This is the one from yesterday. And I also made, I'll just show you this other one that I made. I still have to put one more handle on this, but this is the other one. And for this bag, you only use one sheet of designer series paper. So it's a great way to use up some old scraps, right? That's what I did with this. But on this new taller one, it uses 2 sheets of designer series paper. You see, it's much taller. It's twice as tall. And so it uses 2 sheets of designer series paper. And so I thought, well, you know, you might not have 2 sheets of old, retired designer series paper lying around. But if you have one of the new packs out of the annual or out of the mini, so if you're a demonstrator, you were able to order early, but the new catalog comes out tomorrow. I'm filming this on Wednesday morning, June 29th. The new mini comes out tomorrow, and this is from the Santa's Express designer series paper. Can you see the inside of it? The inside is super cute. It's all Christmassy, right? I know we're not ready for Christmas, but you know, this catalog has a lot of Christmas stuff in it. So I made this one, and we're gonna make another one. I don't know that I'll do this one on the new one, on the one we're gonna make today. I haven't decided how I'll decorate the top yet, but this takes 2 sheets of designer series paper. So I thought, well, let's use some new paper because you know, it takes 2 sheets. So this is from the new mini. It's called Gingham Cottage, and you get 4 sheets of each design of this designer series paper. So this is a great pack to make a bunch of bags with, and it's all this kind of, well, gingham, that's the name of it, Gingham Cottage, right? So it's this kind of gingham paper, and it's got all kinds of colors. It's just gorgeous paper, and you get a ton of paper. So I thought I'll use this, and then I have a scrap of it as well that I'm going to use to make the trim at the top. Okay, but if you don't want to use an extra piece of your paper, you can use a piece of matching cardstock. This is mint macaron, so that works just as well. So let's get started. Let's do this. I've already scored this one, so we don't have to do that, but I'll show you how I scored it. So it's made a lot like the other one. You're going to score at 4 1/4 on 3 sides. Yesterday we scored for the small one, we scored on all 4 sides. This one we're going to score on just 3 sides. So we're going to go 4 1/4, and we're going to score all the way across. We're going to turn it, and we're going to score it 4 1/4 again, all the way across. Okay, we're going to turn it and score one more time on 3 sides, and score it at 4 1/4. And where I'm looking is on my trimmer. I'm looking, I can't get it all in the shot, I'm sorry, but I'm looking right here at the 4 1/4 mark, and that's where I'm putting the edge of my paper so that it cuts right here, okay? And so it scores right here, right? And so I put it at the 4 1/4 mark, and I scored. All right, so now I'm going to cut yesterday we cut on 2 sides, on opposite sides. We're only going to cut on 1 side this time. So you want the side that has the 2 score lines. See, this side, it's not scored across. It's only scored up and down. You want the one that has the crossing score line. Okay? And you're going to put it in there, and you're going to match it up. You're going to find that score line, and you're going to put that score line on your cutting edge, okay, just like that, okay, and then you're going to cut up to the score line that comes across, okay. So let's bring this down here so we can do that. All right. So you're just going to cut up to this score line, right? Which was at 4 1/4. So you're going to cut from the edge up to 4 1/4. You're going to go over to the other score line, which is at 4 1/4 on the edge, and you're going to cut up to the score line, which was 4 1/4. Okay. So now you have that. That's going to be the side of your box. So if you are using a patterned paper, with this one it doesn't matter which way I go. I love that. Makes it easy, right? But if you are using a directional patterned paper, it is going to matter. And you are going to want to make those cuts perpendicular to your pattern. Okay, so if my pattern was directional going up and down like this, you know, then I would want my 2 score lines going across it, and I'd only want the 1 score line going up and down where I'm going to cut perpendicular to it. Okay, but we don't have to worry about that right with this paper because I chose a non-directional kind of paper, which makes it easy. So, and I've already scored this one, but I do have to cut it. So I'm going to look for where the score lines cross, and I'm going to put it in my trimmer on that score line, which is at 4 1/4, right? And when you put it in there, it kind of falls right into the track, okay? And then you're just going to go up to the score line, and you're going to go to the other side and put that in your track, put that score line into your track, and cut up to the score line. All right, so now we have our cuts done. So now we're ready to glue together. So let's go ahead and fold our paper. I like to fold it like this so that I can make sure that I'm folding it straight. Because sometimes, you know, you can kind of fold it kind of crooked, right? We don't want to do that. So we're going to make sure that all of our edges match nicely. Okay, get that folded nicely, okay? Then we're going to fold this one, matching up our edges, and then there's none on that side, right? And then this last one. Okay. All right, so let's do this one real quick as well. It just helps when you glue it together if you do this ahead of time, making sure that you have everything just right. It helps your bag come together nicely. I used to struggle with stuff like this, and those are the little things that I have learned that helped me not struggle quite so much, and helps my project go together straight and not kind of wonky. Okay, actually we are not done trimming. I forgot we have to trim like we did yesterday. We have to trim just a little bit off of here. So we're going to fold up our middle because we don't want to cut the middle. And we're going to put our paper on to the right of this cut line at 1/4, which means you're cutting off 3/4. Okay, so if you don't have a trimmer, you're going to cut off of here. You're going to cut 3/4 of an inch off. So I'm going to put it on 1/4 because there's 3/4 of an inch from here to here. Okay, so let's do that. So put that on 1/4 inch. Close that down. Cut that one off. Cut that one off. Okay, let's get our other one out. And you see, you don't quite have enough to well, you might have enough to go all the way around with this. Let's see. I used on that other one, I used different paper. So let's see. All right, so let's put this at a quarter inch, which means you're cutting off 3/4 of an inch. And we're going to trim that off. All right. So now we're done with our trimmer and we can start gluing it together. So you are going to glue the two sides together. Okay, and if you're using directional paper, make sure that you have your pattern going in the same direction. But we're not using directional paper, so it doesn't matter. See, our sides are fine. So the thing that I discovered when I put the other bag together is that it's a little bit easier to glue this together if you do it kind of in sections. Okay, so you want to put this together because you want it to match up just right. You want that top to be just right. It's more important that the top is flush, right? So you get that on there just right. You can look at it to make sure. Okay, and then we're going to glue this piece to this piece. Let me move this up so you can see. So we're going to glue it just a little bit at a time. So we're going to glue, get my glue going. Gonna glue. My glue doesn't want to go. Might be time for a new one. I keep this little toothpick here and it helps me. So we're going to glue these together. There we go. Why am I noticing a longer piece here? Oh, yeah, that's right. Like, whoa, what's happening? Okay, so it's too early in the morning. I haven't finished my cup of coffee yet. All right, so this is why we're going to do this a little bit at a time, because it moves around on you and you want to make sure that you get it. And if you do the whole thing, by the time you get up to the top and you try to adjust it, your glue is dry. So we're just going to make sure that we glue this down carefully, a little piece at a time. Okay, so now we can glue this. So I'm just going to reach under here. Okay, and it's easier to glue this little piece together, right, than this whole giant piece. So now that I have it set, I can glue this together. And then I'm just going to be able to lay that down and glue that together. All right, now I can put my bag together. How cute is that, right? Okay, so this piece, we're going to go ahead and fold that up. Okay, it does move a little bit at the bottom, but that's okay, because that's going to be on the inside. We don't care about that. And then this piece is going to glue to that one. That one's going to glue to that one. So got a lot of gluing to do here. So we're going to glue this piece to this piece. So you just fold it up once. Let's do it like this so you can see. Okay, you're going to fold it up once, put the seams together and glue. Okay, you can do it like this to make sure you got it nice and together. Then you're going to put some glue on this. Let's see, because this is going to come over and glue to the bottom right here. Okay, so we're going to put some glue on the bottom. And then this piece is going to come over and glue down. And you want to make sure that you get it nice and flush. So, you know, put it down, get it nice and flush. You've got that extra couple of seconds with this glue to get that. So now, got that right. Okay. Now you're going to glue this piece to this piece. So we're going to put some glue on here. And this makes the bottom nice and sturdy, which I like. You're going to move this over and you're going to get it nice and flush. And you're going to glue it down. You can turn it over and yes. Okay, and then you have one more side you have to do to close it completely up, right? All right. We've got to get that in there, make sure that's in there good. Okay. So then we're going to put glue, doesn't matter which one you put the glue on, and we're going to close it up. Okay. And now on this one, you have to glue this piece too. Okay. So we can put just a little bit of glue along the edge, inside edge of this piece, so that we can finish off our bag. And make sure that you put it down on the table so that you can get you want the top to be flush. Okay, so there we have it. Okay, nice and square, long, tall bag. All right, so now we are going to take our pieces that we had left over and we're going to put them at the top. Now, if you want, on this one I made, since I was using cardstock, I made a bigger, a wider band at the top, which I kind of like. So that's up to you. If you have some extra scraps or if you want to use the solid color, you can do that. I'm going to use these because we cut them off and I have them. All right, so let's do that. We're just going to put these on our bag. Right up here at the top. Okay. And on yesterday's bag, I took it, and as I went around the corner, I bent it. I'm not going to do that today. We're going to, oh, I have a message. We're going to trim it off, okay? So let's do that. We'll see how that looks today. We can kind of see which one we like better. And I will leave a link to the other video in the description below so that you can see both sizes. All right, so there's that. And so to trim it off, it's just super easy. You just turn your bag and go right here to the edge and snip it off. If you think you've cut it a little bit crooked, you can turn it and trim it. I feel like I trimmed it just a little crooked. The other thing that you can do, if you're not, confident about trimming and getting it nice and straight, is you can trim this down. I can't pick these up. You can trim this down before you put it on, which is probably a smart thing to do. Let's do that. Let's trim it down before we put it on. So let's see, let's measure and see how big it is. This is the 3-inch side. So let's go ahead and trim this one down to 3. And then we have a nice straight edge. We don't have to worry about it. All right. So let's put this one on now, our other long one. I'm going to put this right along the top, and I'm going to pick this up so I can look at it. Right along the top. And then we're going to turn it, and we'll put our last one on there. Boy, my phone is blowing up today. I think I should silence it because, holy cow. All right. Doesn't usually do that this early in the morning. Look, see, that's why I don't trim beforehand. That's okay. It wasn't 3, apparently. I'm just going to put this piece on and trim it off. Oh, don't you love it when that happens? Okay, so I have that on there now, and I'm going to trim it off. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and punch our holes. You want to be mindful if you have doubled up anything that it's going to be harder to punch that hole. Okay, I like the fact that the side that we have, the 2 sides that we have double paper on, are the ones that we're going to put the ribbon on, because that just gives it extra hold, I think. But it does make it a little more difficult to punch the hole, but we're going to do it. All right, so here we go. Oh, that was easy. It's so much easier once the glue dries. And you don't have to measure it. I mean, you can, you know. My mom was a seamstress. Well, not for a living, but she was an amazing seamstress. She could sew anything. And so she'd probably measure this. I, on the other hand, am not. So I'm not measuring it. So, all right, I just eyeballed it. So there we go. Ugh, all right, got that out. Okay, so now I really struggled with how I wanted to decorate this top. I had thought about using this new twine. It's called silver braided twine. It's in the new mini. And I thought that this would be super cute with this. But I went ahead and pulled out some soft succulent, because soft succulent and mint macaron, they blend so nicely together. And so I took a piece that is 30 inches long, and I'm going to feed it through the hole on this so that the ends are on this side this time. Okay, and I'm gonna tie a bow. All right, so I'll pull this through, and I'm going to tie a bow. All right, so just a regular old bow. Okay, okay, so you don't want it too big. You know, you're just going to tie a regular bow, and we'll make it smaller as we go. So, oops, let's pull a little bit of that out. Okay. All right, make our bow. It's satin ribbon, so it's a little, you know, slippery. And I do want to make sure that, oh, all right, you might struggle with this because of the type of ribbon it is, but that's okay. Be patient with yourself and you'll get it. If you need to start, I see how I keep adding more ribbon for myself. That makes it easier. And we can adjust that. There we go. When we get done. So now I want to make this bow smaller. Okay, so I'm going to make the little loops a little bit smaller. I'm going to tighten it, and I'm going to make the loops a little smaller. Okay, and so now I've wasted a lot of ribbon, haven't I? And I don't think, okay, I'm going to do this over. So here's some things to think about. We're doing this on the live kind of, right? So see how my ribbon is tangled, it's twisted. We don't want that. So let's regroup here. and make sure that this part is right before we get started. So we're going to turn this all the way around and make sure that our ribbon is, when it comes out, that the handle is going to be how we want it. And I want the handle to be, I don't know, probably about that long. So I'm only going to give myself this much to work with, which I think is plenty. All right, so we're going to cross over, make our bow. Okay, I have plenty here to deal with, as long as I don't lose that loop. Yay, got it. All right, so then I'm going to tighten it with this side. Okay, I'm going to tighten it here, tighten it here. I'm just pulling on this, the inside piece to tighten my bow. Okay, now I'm going to tighten it here, and I'm going to make it smaller, make it the size I want. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's adjust our bow. You got to play with it, you know, the bow and after you make the bow, you kind of have to play with it to get it to be how you want it. I don't think I tied that the way I want it. I'm going to tie it again. Because that one loop, there we go. I want this one to go under. I don't want that to pop on top. There we go. Okay. Let's get this nice, just the way we want it. There we go. All right, and now I have probably not as much as I wanted, but I think that's enough. And so I'm going to trim the loops. Or the tails rather, not the loops. And so I have this, and I'm going to put a glue dot on here because otherwise it's, you know, it's going to flop around. So let's get a glue dot and put it on there. Maybe 2, right? I don't have my pick tool with me, so I'm going to use my scissors, grab 2 glue dots, put it on there. That way my bow stays the way I want it to. I can tighten these up the way I want it. And then my bow is on here like I want it. There. Okay, so there's that. You pick what kind of ribbon you want on your bag. I think that that twine would have been super cute, but there's the one loop, or the one handle. I'm not going to do the other handle on camera because it took me a while and I don't want to bore you with making the bow, but you get the idea. So you make the same bow on the other side, and then you have this cute bag. This cute little gift bag, and you can put white tissue paper in it, or if you find some paper this color, or you could put any color in here, any kind of coordinating color. Isn't that the cutest little bag? And it fits the pint size and quart jars perfectly. We make a lot of pickles and things like that here at our house. So, and we give them away because, you know, cucumbers grow like crazy and you cannot eat that many pickles. So we give a lot of those away. And these bags are perfect for that. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video and that you will try your hand at making a bag. Please give me a thumbs up and like, share, and subscribe if you have enjoyed this video. And click that bell. Click that bell so that you can get notified when I upload new videos. I think I'm going to try my hand at a box next, so check back and we'll have a little box done before too long. I'm thinking also maybe a bag for like a bottle of wine. Wouldn't that be cute? super cute little bag. I'm super happy with this. I hope you like it. I hope you try your hand at it and make some bags, some gift bags. And you can decorate them with your own handmade tags and put it with a handmade card. What a great gift that would be. And you have something handmade, homemade inside. Isn't that wonderful? So come back and see me and have a great day. Until next time.